I drove to Vegas this weekend and got to see Criss Angel, the Mindfreak, a magic show. I wasn't too cool with it at first, because black people, we always been kind of into magic. We learned early that if you have anything of value, you're always worried about somebody's hands being quicker than your eyes. And that lesson right there is right below, don't you ever fry bacon while you're naked. I noticed that these magic shows, they always dim the lights and it gets dark before they make something disappear. Then after the stuff disappears and the lights come back on, everybody say the same thing. How in the world did he do that? Now we grew up being mesmerized by that trick, because you can have stuff in your backyard all chained down and locked up, and then it gets dark, poof, it's gone. You get out and look at the disappearance scene and you say to yourself, how in the world did they do that? You can tell it was a black person that did it too by how athletic the magical disappearance was. The police officer's like, so you have a 300-pound safe bolted to the floor. They come in and just rip it out and you don't hear or see nothing. At the Criss Angel Magic Show, the ambiance was like Gothic. All devilish and vampire-ish. Reminded me of the Omen and the Exorcist. A little boy from Iowa was sitting next to me and he looked over at his dad and said, Dad, do you think they're going to pull a rabbit out the hat? I said, no, son. This don't seem like a rabbit-friendly environment. So Criss Angel gets on stage and starts into his first trick. This dude swallowed 20 razor blades, stuck a knife this long down his throat, and filmed the inside of his throat. On that screen, you can see teeth, a knife, razor blades, and a puddle of blood. I mean, all that stuff in the soft meat. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I just can't stomach that kind of stuff. It just, my nerves bad. I just can't handle that. I looked at the little boy and I thought to myself, I said, so much for the rabbit out the hat. Overall, though, Criss Angel, his show is amazing. He did a lot of tricks that were just like phenomenal. I'm old school, though. I like my magic PG. Hey, I learned this from the #1 musician in America when I was a kid. And it's an exercise that magicians use to master hand manipulation. And as a kid, I learned that from the guy that had the longest running TV magic show in the world. Dick Williams, Magic Land, Memphis, Tennessee, baby.